You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Talkin Shop, where I'm super excited because today, you guys know that I'm a big fan of everything that Scout puts out. And recently they had made this really giant announcement about a new imprint of theirs, Chispa, which is so exciting. And I get to talk to one of the founders, Hector Rodriguez, today. So share like crazy while we do this little bump so you can get all your friends in the room. See you in just a second. You know what's funny? When you turn off your Wi-Fi, it's really hard to share. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. It's no surprise to you guys that I'm still trying to make my shares. This is a good time to remind you that this is a really good informational show that gives you heads up for projects that are coming out very soon, most of them this week, or finishing as Kickstarters or crowdfunded things this week. It's a super exciting thing to be able to have the information before you lose your opportunity to add it to your pull boxes or go to your LCSs. So to that end, subscribe. Subscribing is always the right way to be able to make sure that you get notification for when we go on. And it's a good reminder for you to share with all your pals and support all the things that we love. All right. So as I said before, we've got a really special guest. I'm super excited to get to talk with them. Please welcome Hector Rodriguez.
Hey, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Okay. I love your comic cave.
Oh, yes.
Off the chain.
Yeah, it's I got a little bit of everything. I'm a huge G fan. And so I got my kaiju collection, my Godzilla collection there, my bases, my long boxes. Yeah, it's that's just half of, I have my closet full of collectibles and stuff. So it's my world.
Okay, so you say kaiju, so specific to Godzilla or other things?
I say specifically to Godzilla, Gamera, and then then I can go from Ultraman and just your random kaiju fare downwards.
I didn't know if it included like Pacific Rim kaiju.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, and I grew up watching Godzilla on TBS network, TNT, Monster Vision back in the day, and that was my part of my hook too into the comic book world, collecting the old school Marvel Comics group, late 70s Godzilla. Comics, yeah,
tough to come by. They are not easy to find. Like you can find an issue if you go to a comic book shop. To find all of them is really hard.
100%. And so when I was a kid, growing up in College Station, I actually would just harass my local comic book store. Like, do you guys have any Godzilla books left? Any Godzilla comics? Hector, we're looking. And so that's where I found G Fan, the magazine, and then I got into Dark Horse from the Dark Horse Presents Godzilla, yeah, and so that was part of my hook into the comic book world.
Okay, so you mentioned one of the kaiju for Godzilla. Is that your favorite?
Yes. I mean that's my boy, Big G. And
so why? What about him?
It's something like, growing up and looking at something that's greater than you, and especially you have those angst and frustrations and you want to take it out to the world, and so you see this giant monster just demolishing whatever, not giving an F, and just destroying, and then you see how much fun it is, and then when you're older you start looking into the actual sociological aspects of why Godzilla is the way it is and how it came about. The World War II and the nuclear experience that Japan had, and those experiences that translated into, which 1954 Godzilla was a horror movie. Very strong depictions of of the just the madness of what nuclear weapons can do.
Oh yeah. I want to say hi to a couple of our viewers right now. We have Richard Ship, who writes my name in as many letters as he can. So I'll just say Ship. And Joey Galvez, what's up? Glad to see you guys. So okay, so you guys need to chime in here. What is your favorite kaiju? It doesn't have to be Godzilla related. Mine, of course, is Mothra. I don't care which form.
There she is.
Yep.
Banda. Yep.
She's beautiful. And I don't. Have you watched all of the movies? Because some of them are pretty derpy.
100%. Yeah. 100. Backwards and forwards. I'm caught up. Actually, I've been to 2 Godzilla Hollywood premieres.
Oh wow! How did you get invited to those?
So I've been to Godzilla Final Wars in 2004, and I won. My best friend and I, which we met through Godzilla. We were in 4th grade. We're still best friends. Steven Garcia, and so we entered into a contest. We were in college, and we won tickets to the first Hollywood premiere. It was also the Godzilla was doing his imprint on the Walk of Fame as well.
Wow.
So we went to that, and, and I met Hideo Kojima, for those gamers there. And so that was a highlight to me. And I took a picture with Hideo Kojima. That was awesome. And then in 2019, I was invited with our good friends, our folks behind Chispa Mucho Mas, which, we've been working on El Paso Hero project since 2019. And so, we're on a video conference, and Javier Chapa looks at my room like, "Oh, Hector, you're a huge Godzilla fan." "Yeah, I'm sure." "Oh, that, man, I got tickets for premiere. You want to come over and, we could break down El Paso Hero?" And I'm like, you had me at Godzilla, man. I'm already there. And so, yeah, it was 2019. It was, just being there in the red carpet and meeting some of the actors. Millie Brown was there, and so that was cool. That was Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
So tell us something about what a premiere is like that someone that has only seen them on TV would never know.
Okay, free food and free drinks.
What?
Yeah, I love Gamera too. We need a Gamera movie. I mean, I'm because Gamera's like I'm seeing the comments. I'm sorry, and so I get distracted.
No, cool. You can tell us same up.
We're long overdue for a Gamera reboot. And of course a fanboy dream movie, Godzilla versus Gamera. If we can get Marvel versus DC, in the comics, we can get Godzilla versus Gamera.
I think we can. I know they'll eventually get to them, right? There's no way they're just gonna do these big group battle ones. They've gotta be watching Marvel and how it kind of says introduce, then they get their own movie.
Right. And so the Monsterverse actually recently announced a series. Mm-hmm. A TV series from Apple, and so they've been filming the series, and also they've been filming the follow-up versus Godzilla versus King Kong. They've been filming in Australia, so that's going to be interesting because we don't know if it's going to be very focused on King Kong or maybe have Godzilla show up, or we'll see how it goes. I'm really interested.
I love everyone's comments. Real answer is Godzuki because he's
Godzuki, yeah. Hey, the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. Hey, I mean, we watched that backwards and forwards. It was Godzilla. Enough said. And so, regardless,
I don't think you can say Squatch is part of the mix. Then don't we get into what are those called? Cryptozoics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They count as kaiju. Let's debate.
How about Paul Bunyan? Would that be a kaiju? Paul Bunyan,
or at least his ox.
Yeah, right. Or there you go. The jolly green giant from.
So what's the definition of a kaiju? Does it have to be something that's like a mutated something that we know?
Well, because by definition would be giant monster, right? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, you can make your own. You have the mecha genre, right, as well, right. And so, and that kind of tends to cross-pollinate. Then you talk about Ultraman and the whole Ultra family and that history. I mean, Sentai, that has a lot of inroads too. in Japanese culture and American culture now.
What
But no,
color
it's
do
a
you
lot.
get a jet Jaguar? That's what I want to know.
Yes, right. Punch, punch, punch. Yeah. So funny thing is, Americans love Jet Jaguar. Japanese don't quite get it. Why? It's kind of one of those things that niches, right? That's
Yeah.
what I've heard, that Americans love Jet Jaguar.
It's got a cool design. Maybe because we grew up, like I grew up in the like 80s, 90s. So
Mhm.
I have a lot of connections to, like they're mentioning Ultraman and
Yep.
Human Rider. And so all of those things like are super nostalgic for me.
Yeah,
One
100%.
step away from Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that was fun.
And Weird says, is Ant-Man a kaiju when he becomes giant man? All things we need to discuss.
Yeah, hey, let's have a debate. I mean, it's
Okay, so it sounds like when you were a kid, like the kind of your like inroad into the comic book world, or the kind of like thing that made you interested was Godzilla. What else
it
did you
was.
have comics handed to you?
Yeah, no, my dad was in the military. He was in Texas. He was a sergeant in Texas National Guard, and so he would bring home Mad Magazine, and so the first narrative sequential piece it was Mad Magazine, Sergeant Rock, Captain America. Well, that was my dad's thing because he was the geek, right? It was the black sheep, Trekkie, building models, and everybody else was doing their own thing.
So you got everything from the PX then,
right? We all do, and it's and so that was my definitely hook. Sergio Aragones, and I was growing up in Eagle Pass, Texas, which was it's a border town, and there wasn't much there that the old VHS rental stores, sports cards, and behind the baseball cards, you had the magazine comic book rack, right? And so and that was it for Eagle Pass, Texas. And then in Mexico, you had a whole different world, right? You have the historietas, you had the lucha libre books, and then not also that, but they also had a huge connection with manga, and as well as a lot of the anime would cross pollinate into Mexico and be dubbed in Spanish, and so they actually had a lot of anime VHS, in movies, and there were Godzilla movies that haven't been out in the States, and you could actually watch in Mexico that actually were, they were translated, they were dubbed in Spanish, and so it was interesting. It was very, it was a mixture, and so I had a great opportunity to watch a lot of grindhouse movies, in a lot of subgenre narco cinema and all that growing up.
so my brain's gonna stop right now. I'm not gonna remember the name of this superhero.
Yes,
but we have a regular customer who's from Mexico,
right.
and he has brought to me like pop figures and T-shirts of like the most popular superhero. Who actually, he looks so cool. I can't remember his name. He's got a turban.
Kaliman.
Yes, Kaliman.
Kaliman, yeah, their whole radio novellas. I mean, there would be radio novellas of Kaliman. There was actually, I think, 2 movies. Interesting, like really grindhousey, old school. Yeah, you can check it out on YouTube.
Does he wear as much like mascara as it looks? Or
yeah, it's not too not too much PC. It was, I think it was a European actor. Because he's supposed to be of, I guess, Hindu heritage and the mysticism, and so he was kind of brown face-ish, and so
now.
Right, and so that was in the 60s, I believe. So correct me if I'm wrong, folks, in the comments. Kaliman movie, check it out. Yeah,
I understand like he's like a very unique superhero, and that he like mostly uses his wits.
Correct. Yeah, like he was kind of like a almost, well, I don't say Doctor Strange, maybe, but he kind of dabbled into the mysticism and being like the perfect human being, mental and body and mind connection and all that. Yeah,
he sounds really cool. Someday I'm gonna actually like get a hold of like more than just like images of him. So
that's cool that he brought stuff over. Yeah, I've never. Yeah, I haven't come across in anything here.
He's been sharing lots of different culture stuff with me, and actually, he's got a group that he's formed in Mexico. They're trying to put together a really cool comic project, which I was not expecting from him because he just came in as a big collector.
Wow.
So he started showing me his stuff. I'm like, they have to be putting real money into it. It's not just like guys that are like, it'll be fun. Okay, so you say that you grew up in border town.
Yeah, border town. 100%.
I also grew up in not border town, but small town Texas, Georgetown, which is which now is big city because it got eaten by Austin itself. But when I grew up there, it was true country. Right. So I feel you about not having access to a lot of stuff. I think if I got into comic books back then, which I didn't, just on accident, I didn't get introduced to them until later on in college. But it would have been like 7-Eleven or Piggly Wiggly or something.
HEB.
Yeah.
HEB. Yeah, that's where I got some of my books.
Sean says, lived in Mexico in the late 90s briefly. There's so much dubbed anime on TV.
100%. Yep. That's how DBC was light years ahead. My cousins were watching. I remember watching the Cell series, early 90s. And then here in the States, they're still at Dragon Ball.
Like the big unifier.
Right.
We can agree on all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so move forward a little bit. So were comics part of your life when you were older? Is there a bridge there between those two things?
Yeah, it was so we moved to Central Texas, College Station, Texas. My dad's an Aggie, so he went back to school, and so he brought us over College Station, and to me that was a huge culture shock. It was. But one great thing about College Station, they had dedicated comic book stores.
Yeah, they do.
I was, and each Friday my dad would take us after school to go pick up some comics, and either if they didn't have Godzilla comics, I would pick up Aliens, Dark Horse, Aliens versus Predator.
Yep. Those were my first comic books.
Right. And so I was really heavy into Dark Horse stuff. And then I was really getting into Spawn, and something that really gravitated me, being Chicano, and then it was Al Simmons being African-American and seeing the gritty and seeing Todd McFarlane's loose pencils, and I don't know, that really caught my attention, and just seeing how artistic comics could also be. And then from there on, I just been, picking up books, and I would pick up, your big event books, the Death of Superman, and the Nightfall with Batman, and then I saw in high school I got really heavy into JLA, Justice League.
Well, that's a big switch.
Right. Yeah. And so
you have a friend that got you into that, or
no, just I don't know, something about that team dynamics, and having, and funny thing is that looking at my collection, which I have huge, it's a little collection. I'd say about 4,000 books, but
collection.
And and funny thing is, it's mostly DC books. It's not, you don't think about it, but mostly DC. Which I do follow some Marvel, the main events, the fun, and who doesn't love when some of the writing. I mean, it's just Walking Dead too, and got into Walking Dead very early on. And George Romero being a huge influence. I love horror, and so just going back to my Grand House stuff, and so you start being, you're a consumer of books, and then you get interested in how they're created, the art, the narrative, differences between writers, the styles, and I always kind of dabbled into art, and then I just got into art AP, and then in college I almost majored in art, but I'm a sociology major, but got into
sociology.
Yeah, I got into figure drawing. Yeah, so everything.
Criminal justice, which was one degree 100%. more crazy.
I started in high school. I was selling prints. I guess I was selling. I was taking commissions. $5 here, $4. And yeah, I know some kids would like buy my
Well, no,
commission.
that's way. I'm just giggling because I used to write. I was writing. It wasn't a comic book, but I
Yeah.
was writing some kind of like narrative story in a spiral notebook that, before getting on the bus every day, I'd read to the kids that were getting on the same bus with me. So I totally understand the whole like I was selling prints, selling commissions. I wasn't smart enough to charge them for such things. Do you remember back in the day when we used to like get toothpicks and put them into cinnamon oil? And then like sell those for 10 cents at school?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's like 100%. I used to sell my pizza, my Domino's pizza each at school, and folks would eat. Yeah, so we try to hustle, right? Especially art. Yeah, we were just hustling, right?
So how did you go about doing the commissions? You just like have friends say, I really would like a picture of.
Well, okay, so early '93, I got into Wizard magazine, hardcore.
Ooh,
yeah. And so I miss Wizard magazine because to me that was, oh gosh, especially the some of my best education came through Wizard. I mean, this is precursor to AOL Internet almost, right? I mean, that was kind of merging there. But Wizard for me was such a pivotal point because I was being educated. I was learning about the business and learning who were the creators and so on. And then I really love some of the drawing, I guess, lessons, and some of the, especially the price guide too, because you're looking through your books and like, oh my gosh, right? Or that price guide. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take this moment.
Yeah.
I want everybody out there that's watching the show to think about what their very favorite thing about Wizard magazine was, which there were so many things to be just obsessed with about that magazine. Yeah. And get them all in the chat, and we'll talk about them when we come back. We're just going to do a quick break for commercials and things, and we'll be right back. So think about it hard. Get in the chat.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time. Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Everybody, and welcome back. We're here talking with Chispas, Hector Rodriguez, and we were just talking about specifically the awesome magazine, which I heard rumors was going to come back, but nothing happened because of COVID. So let's see if they get back to it. Wizard Magazine, the thing that came in a poly bag with sometimes a lot of cool swag with it. Kyle, if you pop up some of those comments on the screen, we'll talk about some of them, see if we remember any of them. I heard a couple mentions of Brutes and Babes, which I completely forgotten about.
Totally, wow. the fan casting, that was awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And someone's actually got on their actual fan casting. Michael Biehn as Cyclops, which would have been fine. Van Damme as Gambit, perfect. Angela Bassett as Storm, yes. Rutger Hauer as Magneto, and Patrick Stewart as Prof X. So they got one thing right.
Yep.
Like he's timeless.
The standard. Yeah.
I kind of feel like even when they do this clean slate, like clean up for when they move all of those characters over to MCU, I think they're gonna keep Patrick, right?
Oh my gosh. The fact that he came out in Multiverse, I think that was it with Doctor Strange. I would think that was like fan service, and there you go, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about that now. I think we're probably past spoilers for that, but I mean, addressing those.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, I think it's fine. If people were going to watch it, they were going to watch it. We're going to talk about it in specifics, but the characters that we got to see, which were Fantastic Four, main character goodness, we've been waiting for forever in casting.
Yep. But
don't know what they're going to do with that because of the way it rolls out. Like my favorite character in all of the oh my gosh, I just totally forgot what I was thinking of. The Black Bolt character is my favorite. And I thought that he did not get enough time on screen, and they kind of like shortchanged the whole thing. So I'd like to see him come back. I'm just hoping that those characters they showed, Captain Britain and all that stuff, I hope those weren't them saying, here's all you get, you'll never see those people again. Shh. I'll be so sad.
Okay, so this is my idea. So what about for Secret War? Maybe. I don't know, right? That would make sense.
We'll scroll away everything. You can scroll away all things.
Yeah, you can just take anything there. Secret. Old school Blade, bring it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Ed Weird says he likes the price guide the most. The Wizard Fan Awards were awesome. I agree. What else do people like? Kyle likes it when someone would sell them a collection without Wizard in them. Although now people are trying to hunt those bad boys down. So now even though they weigh a ton.
Yeah, I still got mine in the attic somewhere.
And then old envelope fan art. I don't remember that one. I actually really miss.
Oh yeah, you're right. The envelope fan art. Yeah.
I miss the them giving the top 10, which was kind of I think toward the end of it, where they would say these are the top 10 for the week. And I love going back and looking at those now, like 1995 July. Let's look and see what they say, and then just be like, oh man. If you've like invested heavily in some of these, you are still doing really well. And some of these, wah wah.
Oh, good times.
So, top 10 writers and artists. Yes, that's always good. I really think that we need to have. I know that everyone says that no one wants anything like a printed thing like that, but there was just something about kind of like the Sears magazine.
Right.
Just really need it, want it, need it.
Mm-hmm.
For adults, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to do it every month. They can leave off the price guide thing at the end and then do it once a quarter and we'd be good. I'd be happy. And then they could feature all of the cool projects that are coming out.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to know more about El Peso Hero because it sounds like it is like a true love fest for, trying to like bring awareness to specific things. Give background to.
Well, with El Peso Hero, in its core, it's a neo-Western set in the Southwest, Texas, north of Mexico. And El Peso Hero is kind of a vigilante hero that if power-wise, it's kind of like Luke Cage. If Luke Cage is to Harlem, El Peso Hero is to Laredo, Nuevo Laredo, north of Mexico, the border area, and so it's kind of like it's kind of like Logan meets Sicario, too.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to cross,
That was a good movie.
And so it's something that I've been working on. It's my own comic book, creator owned, small press, indie all the way, 100%. And I've been doing a puzzle hero for about 12 years, 12 years now. And it started out as a web comic in 2011. And from there on, I'm on right now. I have my Kickstarter for my 15th book,
All that.
15, 16. So I appreciate if you guys are able to support too, because fighting the algorithms, the struggle is real. But yeah, it's been quite a journey, actually. Each year, El Puzzle Hero goes viral for certain stories, certain elements. Generally I have my main story arc, but there has been some side quests along the way, per se, where
I like the
we're
Russia visit.
what? Excuse me.
I like the Russia.
Oh
excursion.
yes, and so this particular issue that I totally did my own art. My art style is very sketchy, kind of very Eastman, early 90s, very loose, dark, gritty. And so I did this special book because I felt that, when I have some angst, some emotional needs, I just put pen to paper and I'm doing the art. Normally I have artists that do the story for me. Sorry, they do the art for me. But in this case, some special issues, I just have to do it for my own good, just get it going. And so this book, El Puzzle Hero Ukraine, has Ukrainian, Russian, Spanish, and English. It's
cool.
And it's just basically putting a puzzle hero completely out of his element and putting him in Ukraine, defending, protecting civilians. And some of those stories get controversial too. Either when we're dealing with detention facilities, and the thing about detention facilities, I've been writing that since 2013, 2014, and so regardless of who is in office, it is what it is. It's like it's a reflection. We're not taking sides. It's just a reflection of the border, and so people tend to fluctuate here and there, and so that's what I really try to bring lens into some of those narratives within El Puzzle Hero. At the same time, the novella, it plays out like a Mexican soap opera, really cool. This is our omnibus.
Oh, wow.
Four,
amazing.
it's thick. Yeah, it's a thick boy. 414. So this was about a year and a half ago. This was our crowdfunding campaign. Right now, you're able to get the whole collection, 300 plus pages, 12 books in the Kickstarter. But it's really it's a heavy book, and is it
in English, and are there versions that are in Espanol?
Oh well, all of the El Puzzle Hero books are all in English, for the exception of El Puzzle Hero. His dialogue is always in Spanish.
Oh, awesome!
So you can infer very easy. I make it very easy you can infer what he's meaning, talking, but it just kind of brings that cultural diversity and linguistic diversity, and I remember I'm not going to name the writer, but I was at a big online panel with a big Marvel writer, one of my folks that I love and follow, and they're like, Hector, you should really consider putting a puzzle hero in English, and have his translations in the gutter, or something like that, because you have folks there with a dictionary, and then I'm like, no, it's just a style, and
everyone
I'm like,
has Googles. Come on now, we're not that lazy. We just Google if we want to.
Like, sorry, Mr. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Love you, Mark.
Yeah, I love you, but so it's just it's part of that. Growing up in Texas, you are exposed to Spanish. You go to a Mexican restaurant, the menu's in Spanish, most of it. Yep. And so it just brings that authentic, especially with Puzzle Hero, being a Mexican American hero, fighting cartels, dealing with a lot of issues. And so it's a fun book. And so this book we're crowdfunding is really cool. It's kind of like The Raid set in the Southwest. A lot of action. It's action packed. A lot of fun. El Puzzle Hero Sicario War. That's the first book in our 3-part story arc. And so we are chugging away with our stretch goals. I mean, we can talk about crowdfunding, a whole different thing, but that's a whole different beast.
Because Victor said Kickstarter is almost always a pain. You can get really good at it. Like I have friends that have kind of been doing that since the beginning of it, and I feel like they've got a good rhythm.
Yeah, you know, this is
stuff to see.
I agree. This is my 6th campaign, and so there's a process, and you guys don't. And for those that are listening, hey, you know, you're not begging. When you're asking, you're not begging. It's just you know, you can almost see it as you know, you're just sharing your passion for the book. That's what
you're just asking for people to back our project by prepaying for it. I know that all of the stuff pops up and says they have no real, you don't have recourse if they don't make it, but I know that people are not putting up Kickstarters for the sole purpose of not making a thing. They really want to make a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a passion project, and with especially here, I've been exposed to other publishers, but I've been keeping Plus Zero close to me just because of the fact that I'm able to, as small press as indie, I'm able to produce a book in months. You know, if it's myself doing the art, it depends how much time I have. I can get it going, especially with the Ukrainian issue. I was able to do that in 3-4 weeks.
So what is your normal like your page? Like how long does it take you to put together a whole page writing?
Okay, so writing, which I prefer. I'm a better writer than I am an artist. I like my art's not mainstream, you know, and so writing, it's a lot. If I get into a tempo, if I have to put myself into that world, which is it's a heavy toll, especially depending on the story. I'm not able to. It's hard for me to jump around from book to book because I have to just put myself into. It's almost like you're directing, right? You're directing a movie, and you're in the atmosphere. You're in the tone of the movie, and especially the thoughts of the characters. Within it, I mean, drawing a page. I'll say about good tempo. I mean, a page about every couple of days, just penciling and inking, coloring. That's a whole, you're right. And then lettering. I have a lot of respect towards letterers. You know, that's a dedication. That's an art. I try to be a passable letterer.
I think people realize, I think that when you look at a comic book page, it almost looks like, because it's so uniform, like it's just being like typed out on a computer somewhere and just like being fit into that bubble, but it's not what's happening. Like people have got that steady of a hand and they do it for a living. They just make it look so easy.
Oh yeah.
It blows my mind.
Oh yeah, especially going back to the previous generations, you know, just on pen and paper and the rulers, the whatchamacallit, oh my gosh, the Amnes guide, or it's an art form.
Oh yeah. So okay, so a lot of creators have gone more digital in their art. Have you embraced the digital art style, or are you a more practical?
I was hybrid in the beginning. I had a hybrid where I was, you know, just big 11x17 comic book board, pencils, and then I would scan my pencils in a big flatbed that I still have, and then I would just do digital inks. Well, you know, it would be like pen and inks, and then scan it, digital inks, and then coloring, and Adobe Photoshop coloring, and as well as Adobe Illustrator with lettering.
Yeah.
So it was a hybrid method. Now I'm actually more inclined digital, 100%. With my iPad, it's about 3 inches. I do Procreate. It's an awesome app, 100%.
I've heard that from a lot of creators that they wanted to hold on to doing practically, but it saves so much time. Like if there's a line that's wrong, you just do that back button, just like you do on a computer when you're typing a thing. You're like, nope, that's not what I wanted. So it saves you a lot of time, and your output is so much faster. And the tools that they have now for comic book creation is just mind blowing.
But I'll say this, Jen. There's something about having your physical art too. You know, I've actually, I've had a Puzzle Hero art displayed at a Texas A&M art gallery.
Yeah.
Other art galleries as well, and as well as it's stored in the UT library too. Some copies, not the official, but there's something about having the physical, especially if you're professional. You know that you're able to. I don't want to say monetize, but you're able to create more opportunities and have something for your future generations to see themselves and share out. I mean, that's a positive for still doing physically. But
plus, it'd be nice to keep that. I feel like that's another like skill set to keep sharp. Just because people might ask for it, right? They might be practical people.
Right.
I can't imagine a world a bit like, sorry, you have to make all your stuff practically. But I know that I like having original pages. Like, what are we going to collect, Hector, if we don't have original pages out there to collect? It'll make us crazy.
100%. Yeah.
All right. So we're here to talk about something that super special has happened recently. Scout is a good friend of the EXP. We love them very much. And this announcement made me so happy that Chispa and Scout have gotten together and have got you've got your own line there, which makes me so happy. How did this happen? How did you guys meet each other?
Yeah, well, see, it's a history, right? And so myself, I've had a previous relationship with Mucho Mas Media, which they're a Hollywood Latino-based production with a lot of Tejanos working on it, and so not also that, but David Bowles, which he's a prolific Chicano author too. He's had his relationship with Mucho Mas, and so there was a connection. We already had met each other previously through our community, through our indie community, as well as through Texas Latino Comic Con, which I run, Texas Latino Comic Con, and we had that connection. And there was a conversation between Scout Comics and Mucho Mas about an opportunity to have an imprint that would focus on Latino stories, culture, and a lot of great artists, you know. And so it's almost, you know, I have a lot of respect towards Milestone Comics. And so it's almost like we're developing the Latino version of Milestone, respectfully.
So is the point of the imprint to have creators from the Latin community, or that the storylines are based in that community, or both?
I'd say it's definitely both. You know, there's a lot of, you know, you look at the movies, right? Especially you look at Love and Thunder, Thor. I saw a statistic that 30% of ticket sales, 35% were from the Latino community. That's a huge chunk. And so,
that's awesome.
You know, Latino community has always been consumers of entertainment and comic books. And a lot of the innovation has been in the independent publishing. But we have been struggling to, you know, have a voice in the mainstream comic book company with companies, you know, with all respect, with a lot of artists, you know, and that have made inroads, you know, but we're looking into opportunities in the editorial too, which in this case, Chispa is giving us that opportunity, as well as, you know, opening doors to the direct comic book industry market. And this is where Scout comes in, and Scout has such an amazing narrative variety of stories. And I mean, it's, if you're looking for like the latest and greatest of narrative storytelling, check out Scout Comics, because I mean, those guys are really a step ahead. They're innovating in the way they're producing, as well as they're formulating how they engage with the market too, which is always fluctuating. But with Chispas Comics, we really want to drive the voice of the voiceless, especially with the Latino community. And so it's something that, we started off with our first Ashcan, Attack of Acapulco.
I have lots of those. I have a secret stash.
Yeah. So we actually have a really amazing anthology coming out. Okay. So sorry about this. This is actually based on an upcoming movie coming out for Mucho Mas.
Shh, are we supposed to know about this?
No, you're good. It's already on Variety. Yeah, you're good.
You heard it here.
You're hearing it, yeah. So it's already there. So
I didn't know what I was supposed to take that out of the lockbox.
It's okay.
Out of the lockbox.
Yeah, we're good for it. It's so it's, if you like the Meg, we're going back to Baja California. There's a mythical giant megalodon in Mexican mythology called the Black Demon, and so it's it's going to be a really exciting movie, and we're very honored that we're doing an anthology prequel for that. We're Chispa, we're spearheading that, as well with this time at San Diego Comic-Con, we released our comic book, our first comic in our slate, Mashbone and Grifty. If you like Rick and Morty, if you like some hilarious stuff,
who doesn't?
Yeah, check out Mashbone and Grifty. It's actually funny. I mean, it is. I'm not saying this because me and David Bowles, we edited and we were launching it. But Oscar and Rolando are from Texas. These guys know where it's at. It's a Texas Tejano Chicano Rick and Morty set in the border. Hilarious. Coming out winter, December, January. We'll see where we land there.
Paper allows, right?
Yeah. 100%. So check it out. We also have a Katrina's Caravan, which is a horror anthology. Who loves a good scary story? So this horror anthology, Katrina's Caravan, is based on a lot of folklore in the Southwest, Mexican folklore. And so we're looking into digging too deep. And we grew up with Creepshow. We grew up with Tales from the Crypt. And I love Tales from the Hood growing up. And so this is our version of Tales from the Hood, and so if you guys like some good great diversity and scary stuff. And so,
from the famous line, "Yo, man, that could really happen."
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. See, yeah, we're going old school here. Well, not, oh my gosh, old school. Good times. We're going to good times. So yeah, we're excited, and we have a lot of great books coming down, a lot of great artists, a lot of great creators, and so with Chispa Comics, we're completely indie, definitely have a pulse in the community, and we're trying to, these stories speak to everyone too, not just the Latino community, these stories, the art style, and so, and we were, during a meeting, we're like, so we're discussing artists and creators. And so, hey, it's, if as long as you have an amazing story, that's centered around Latino community, regardless who you are, artists and so on, hey, our doors are open too. We're excited. We're just very excited to be here and definitely make a spark, be the chispa of the comic book industry.
You have like a formal way for people to connect with you if they have something they're already doing or something they're interested in doing, to be connected with someone else?
Yeah, 100%. Just go through our social media, Chispa, through the Instagram channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as well. And shoot us a message. We'll give you our email addresses. And because we're always right now, we do have our slate, first slate, but we want to be in a position where we're bringing in a lot of diversity, a lot of different voices, and we're indie, so we need everyone's support too. There's a lot of eyes on the success of Chispa, this experiment, you can say, but we're really excited to definitely make an impact, but we do need everyone's support.
It's funny, like you say it is like kind of like it's an experiment for people that live in Texas. We're like, it's about time. It's like it's most of our community, so it's like, come on.
Yeah, 100%. And it's in both of it. I'm the co-editor. David Bolsa is the co-editor as well, and so we're both Tejanos from the Southwest. So it's a very we love our home state, and we're telling great stories that are reflective towards our experiences.
Perfect. All right, we have some time. Give me some tales from San Diego. Who did you see that you were like, oh my gosh? Or what meetings did you have that you can even mention in like kind of like tiny bits that were exciting?
Yeah, and so I have to admit, okay, so I have an admission. It was my first time at CD. It was my first time at San Diego Comic-Con. I know, long overdue, especially since I've been in the indie scene for a while with Puzzle Hero. But in this case, I'm also a creative director of creative development for Mask Republic. That's a Lucha Libre company as well. Mm-hmm. We represent a lot of luchadors, and so I'm a big wrestling geek too, 100%. And I can talk wrestling backwards and forwards. And so I was there with Mask Republic. I was at the National Cartoon Society booth representing El Paso Hero, and I was at the Scout booth with Chispa. We had an amazing panel as well, and we had some great signings too. So for me, it was kind of overwhelming because it was my first. It was almost like you take Fan Expo in Dallas, you take Comic Palooza, you take all the cons in Texas, put them together. Yeah. You throw in E3, you throw in A-Con, anime convention. Yeah. You throw in CES, and you get what San Diego Comic-Con can be. Hey, throw in 6th Street from Austin because they close down the streets, and there's a lot of theme restaurants too to check out. And so I went to my Kevin Kleinrock and myself. We went to the Super 7 store outside of the con, and it was all decked out in Cobra and like G.I. Joe, Cobra. So we had a field day there. We geeked out, bought some swag. And so it was a lot of fun, It was like, yeah, I took all those days, it was busy. I took Sunday just to breathe in and walk around and check out the panels. Well, sorry, check out the Artist Alley Small Press. I purposely brought a small suitcase so that way I couldn't go overboard. I got to the point where
your first mistake.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, and I was to the point where I was like, oh gosh, I need to wear this on top of this because I don't have enough room.
We literally hang a suitcase inside of a suitcase, so we have a whole suitcase's worth of space to bring back stuff because we know we're gonna have it no matter what we do.
Yeah. And then I bought an exclusive. I bought the CH Monster Arts King Kong with the Mecha Godzilla head exclusive. Got it. Oh yeah. I got it right here. I guess so. Gotta open this puppy up. Maybe. I say maybe because that's always the fight, the struggle, right? Should I unbox or unbox, right?
Did you see any big celebrities?
No, I mean, I'm a fanboy. I saw Jeff Smith. We were there. It was cool, and he's a very laid back dude. And I was a big Bone guy, and so I was there, and I got this really cool Bone exclusive. Check it out. It's a little Bone here.
Did you just have to leave most of your clothes there?
No, I almost. Well, gosh, I was gonna wear, even though it was about 67 degrees. I knew that coming to Texas is gonna be 100 plus. I still would have wore clothes on top of clothes just to.
I love it so much.
Gosh, but I fanboy out. Let's see.
How much good food did you eat? Because I think of Comic-Con in terms of how much overweight is my luggage going to be and how much overweight will I be?
Okay, so I was hanging out with Lalo Alcaraz too. With Lalo Alcaraz is a famous Chicano cartoonist. You look Cucaracha. He did a lot of stuff for Nickelodeon, Casagrandes, as well. He was the cultural consultant for Coco too.
Wow.
And so and I was and so we went out with Lalo. We ate. Yeah, we would eat afterwards because I knowing my convention knowledge, I'm like, okay, so I know about the con crud, making sure that I pack snacks, but I ran out of protein bars early on. Luckily, I had a professional badge, which I had access to the professional lounge, and so that was unlimited
That's top
coffee.
secret. That's top secret.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah. Sorry. There's a password you got to get through.
Right.
And so and I it was a lot of walking.
I guess that's true. Whatever you probably eat and really good food, you probably walk off, and like the amount of like length between one end of the hall to the other end, it's huge.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. I recommend everybody make sure that you plan ahead. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated, 100%. Plan out your panels too. We were with a friend that wanted to get into the Hall H for Marvel.
Yeah.
He was asking for us to spend the night in line with everyone else. I'm like, that's too rich for me.
Right. So now they want to know, please tell them that you have a luchador comic in the slate.
In the near future, right? There's a lot of great luchador comics. I think Jason Gonzalez from Image, he's got it's top of my head.
They're mentioning it. They'll do a powerbomb.
Powerbomb, yes, do a powerbomb. Yeah, check that book. And I'm always supporting. You got to support your friends. Their books. I'm looking forward to Henry Barajas, a Batman urban legend, number 18. Check it out.
Barajas is a person.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I got to name drop folks that they're in the community, and that's where we're at. Hey, we're all supporting each other.
Absolutely. All right. We're down to our last couple seconds. Do you want to share your direct social media that you think people would get the most benefit out of?
Yes. Chispa Comics. Check out on, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're pretty heavy on Instagram. So check out, we was sharing news and such. El Paso Hero, go and help us out on our Kickstarter right now. We're trying to hit our second stretch goal. If we hit our goal, I'm going to show the logo for the 16th installment of Puzzle Hero. Super excited for that. Check out Puzzle Hero Sicario War. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Puzzle Hero. And if you're looking into Lucha Libre, check out Mask Republic. We have a whole bunch of Lucha stuff coming out as well. Also with Vampiro, if you... Vampiro comic book coming soon. Check it out. Oh yeah, we do have features. Yeah, Luchaverse features Penta Cero Miedo. Yeah.
And just wanted to clarify for everybody the Episo Hero, the compendium when you showed, is that part of the Kickstarter?
Yes. I'm doing a second round of printing for the Episo Hero compendium. Check it out. It's one of the rewards. You get that and also the book too.
Perfect. I'm gonna be on that.
Appreciate it.
Everybody, thank you so much, and thank you so much, Hector, for being willing to pitch it for the entire hour. Because I know that I would have not been able to fit in all the questions that I had. You were a delightful person. I'm so thankful.
Oh, thank you, Jen. Thanks for the opportunity. I know we could have gone just a whole hour just talking about Wizard or Kaiju or or literally anything. DVC, Dragon Ball Super, all that.
All right. Stay tuned, everyone. We got more stuff coming up on the experience. Join us again next week for Talkin Shop. Bye, y'all.
See ya.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.